Hello friends, I welcome you all in my show, The Opinion Platform. Today, 14th November, is celebrated in India as Children's Day. Today is the day when we remember the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, whose date of birth has been set to be celebrated as the Children's Day. It is very interesting to note and remember that the Prime Minister's birthday is celebrated as Children's Day. When we talk about leader, generally we talk about the political acumen of any leader. We talk about the leading capabilities, leadership skill. Of course, Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had all of these qualities. But apart from all this, the qualities that he keenly possessed was also full of warmth, sincerity and love, not just for his own family members, for his own daughter Indira Gandhi, but for the children of the whole world, children of all India. We can see that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was one such leader who, while spending his days in jail, expressed his love towards his daughter in the form of writing a letter in which he tried to teach his daughter, Pridarshini Nehru, who was later on known as Indira Gandhi. And this, all of us know that the letter that Nehru wrote from jail to communicate to his daughter proved to be one of the most beautiful letters any father would have ever written to his daughter. Nehru's letter to Indira has been the part of syllabus across schools and Indian universities. If we compare the letters at the global level written to the family members, I think this Nehru's letter to Indira would pass and compete against all best letters ever written to express love, affection and warmth, no matter addressed to whom. But today, I'm very sad to say that we are forced to remember this Children's Day in the time when the children of Palestine, when the children of Gaza are killed, are devastated, are rendered orphans, facing the worst this world could have ever offered to them. We have seen and we remember, we have studied in the history that there were moments during Nazi history when the brutal massacre, brutal killing of Jews took place in Germany's Auschwitz and several places, and their only crime of the people was to belong to a certain community, Jewish community or Jew community. Jewish people were persecuted for the blames they would have hardly done it. We have all seen disturbing images during the Second World War, which often come up during any discussion either in the print form or the digital form at present. But unfortunately, the same seems to be getting repeated even today. On 7th October 2023, Hamas attacked on Israel, and Israel thereafter has been continuously bombing on Gaza, and not just bombing Gaza, saying that it will destroy the Hamas organization. How much Israel would succeed in destroying Hamas, the organization, the political organization of Gaza, cannot be said. But the whole world is condemned, is cursed to see the destruction of the little cute children. We see heartbreaking images coming from several global channels. We see the dying children, the images of the dead children, images of children losing their family members, children looking for their family members under the collapsed building. We see the quivering children at hospitals. We see children are dying in Al Shifa hospital just because that hospital has no more electricity, and babies are dying in incubators. Babies who are 3 years old are dying just because there have been multiple airstrikes. We see babies are looking for their parents. We see babies on these roads clueless where to go because there's nobody to look after them. It is all mayhem in Gaza. It's all a massacre, game of massacre is going on in Gaza. Children of Gaza are facing the things that cannot be ever described, the pain ever described in words. Those miseries that children of Gaza are made to face deliberately only because a man named Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has the ego that he is the ruler of the country which boasts of being the most scientifically advanced country. I don't know if it is the purpose of any scientifically advanced country to kill the children of any country or any family, then how much science they have learned. But what my social science, what my humanistic understanding suggests me to follow is that no matter what we do, but the life of children must be protected at any times. You must be thinking why I'm speaking on the children of Gaza when I started to commemorate the day of 14th November as Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's day. Because Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was lovingly called and addressed as Chacha Nehru. Chacha to whom? Chacha to all these cute little beautiful babies. Everybody knows that wherever Pandit Nehru used to go before being Prime Minister and after being Prime Minister of India, but he always spent much of his time with kids, with children. His love for children is a common thing to be discussed wherever there is a discussion around Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The problem is why I am bringing Nehru. I think, what if Nehru was alive today? How he would have engaged? What if Nehru would have been the Prime Minister today? How he would have engaged in the crisis which is going on between Israel and Palestine? Tarika Khattar, a PhD scholar, PhD candidate of history at the University of Cambridge, wrote an article for The Quint on October 23rd, 2023 and quoted what Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru held the opinion in relation to Israel and Palestine relation. In response to the Minister of External Affairs or renowned Judge Sir Abdul Rahman, Pandit Nehru, who was serving as the Minister of External Affairs in May 1947, appointed the renowned Judge Sir Abdul Rahman as India's representative to the UNSCOP. In a letter to Rahman on 24th May, Nehru outlined his views on the dispute of Israel and Palestine. And Nehru writes, now quote from The Quint I am reading, that Tarika Khattar wrote for The Quint. Pandit Nehru writes, the Palestine issue is terribly complicated. Naturally, our general sympathies are with the Arabs. And not only our sympathy, but our intellectual conviction tells us that Palestine is essentially an Arab country, to try to change it forcibly into something else is not only wrong but not possible. At the same time, inevitably, we have great sympathy for the Jews in their terrible distress. It is also perfectly true, I think, that the Jews have done very fine work in Palestine and have reclaimed land from the desert. This quotation, taken from Nehru's writing and written by Tarika Khattar for the Quint, may be a point of discussion for many, and Nehru can be criticized for last line where he appreciates the Jews. But let us also not forget that Nehru was very clear. Just because he had a sense of humanitarian existence, so he supported the existence of Israel as a country of Jews. But he was not sure. He never said it, that it is the just right of Jews. He said just because the Jews had faced, since he wrote this letter in 1947, we all know that when the Second World War ended in 1945, after Adolf Hitler killed himself and World War II got over, by that time millions of Jews had been killed. At that time, there would be no sensible leader who would not speak in support sympathetically with the Jews community. Nehru did his responsibility realizing the same truth. But at the same time, he also said that ultimately Palestine is essentially an Arab country. If Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru would have been alive today, would have been the Prime Minister of India today, would have been cursed to see the children getting killed inhumanly by Israel's attack, disproportionate attack. If he would have seen thousands of children being killed for none of their crimes, or for the same crimes for which Jews were persecuted in Germany, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru would have surely taken the strongest position against Israel in all international organizations, meetings, wherever possible. And he would have proved in a real sense that India has the capability of being the leader of Asian countries. He would have truly proved that how India could be the country leading all Asian countries. On this day, on this Children's Day, we must pay our respect to such a sensible leader, in an loving father, a leader and a man who loved children, who did everything to make the life of all children coming from all caste, creed, religion and communities, and who worked to make children's life brighter, tried to give them bright future. Such a personality Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had. He must be remembered and must be paid respect hugely. But at the same time, we must also condemn the existing Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, who pretends to be the strongest leader of the country, pretending to be the leading country of all Asian countries. But the fact is that he has not spoken clearly and strongly enough, which can force Israel at least to immediately implement the ceasefire, immediately force Israel to stop bombing Gaza, immediately control and criticize Israel for killing thousands of innocent Palestinian children for none of their crimes and mistakes. And we are ashamed of it, that we as a human civilization has repeatedly failed in the past and fail even today. With this, I say thank you very much.